Most people think aging is something that happens slowly, year by year, and wrinkle by wrinkle. But what if aging can speed up or slow down based on something you are doing right now? Jacobo Grinberg believed this was not a theory. He treated it as a fact. He suggested that aging is not driven only by time, but by the state of awareness observing reality in every moment. In the final years of his research, Grinberg spoke quietly about a short daily practice. It was not an exercise for the body, and not a method to improve discipline or willpower. It was an exercise for perception itself. According to Grinberg, this practice was so direct that it changed how the nervous system organizes reality. He never taught it openly in universities or public lectures. He shared it only in private settings because he believed that once perception becomes ordered, biology follows immediately. This idea challenged the foundation of modern thinking. It suggested that cells do not age first. Awareness does. Grinberg discovered that the body does not truly respond to time. It responds to coherence. When awareness is fragmented by stress, noise, and constant mental movement, the body behaves as if it is under continuous threat. Stress hormones remain active. Repair mechanisms slow down. Aging accelerates without being noticed. When awareness becomes still and unified, the signal changes. The signal changes. The nervous system exits survival mode. The body stops preparing for danger and begins to repair itself naturally. What makes this discovery even more unsettling is that Grinberg did not arrive at it through belief or mysticism alone. He was trained in neurophysiology. He studied perception scientifically. He measured how attention reshapes the structure of experience and the biological responses that follow. In his lesser-known experiments, people who practiced perceptual alignment for only minutes a day showed changes that normally take years to appear. These were not emotional shifts, they were biological responses. And then, without explanation, Grinberg disappeared. His work stopped, his research ended. But fragments of his discoveries remain, including a 12-minute exercise that challenges everything we think we know about aging. In this video, you will learn what Jacobo Grinberg actually meant by biological age, why fighting aging makes it worse, and how a simple shift in perception can send a completely different signal to your body. This is not motivation. It is not belief. It is not effort. It is awareness, doing what it was always designed to do. If you stay until the end, you will understand why this exercise was never meant to be popular, and why it works even when nothing else does. Welcome to Awakened Synchronicity. If this knowledge resonates with you, subscribe to the channel and stay connected. Before we talk about the body, the cells, or the years marked on a calendar, we need to look at the lie we were taught about aging. From the beginning, aging was explained as something automatic. Time passes. The body wears down. Nothing can be done. Jacobo Grinberg challenged this idea completely. He suggested that time alone does not age the body. Something else happens first, quietly and repeatedly, long before the physical signs appear. According to Grinberg, aging begins as internal disorder, not disorder in the organs, but in perception. The mind jumps, attention splits, awareness is pulled in many directions at once. This constant fragmentation creates a background of tension that never fully turns off. The body reads this tension as a signal, not as thought, but as instruction. Roche plays a central role in this process, but not the kind of stress that comes and goes. Grinberg spoke about low-level, continuous stress created by untrained attention, the noise of thoughts, the pressure to react, the habit of anticipating what comes next. When awareness is never fully present, the nervous system stays alert, even when there is no real danger. This is where the lie becomes dangerous. We are taught that stress damages the body because of chemicals and hormones alone. Grinberg saw it differently. He believed stress damages the body because it fractures perception. And when perception is fractured, coherence is lost. The body does not know how to rest inside disorder. Noise is not only external, it is internal movement. that never settles. Images, memories, expectations, and identities constantly overlap. Attention jumps between them without rest. Grinberg described this as perceptual entropy. The more scattered awareness becomes, the more the body behaves as if it is aging faster than time itself. Fragmented attention sends one clear message to the body: prepare, defend, survive. Repair becomes secondary. Regeneration slows. Energy is redirected away from renewal and toward protection. Over years, this pattern becomes biological aging, not because time demanded it, but because perception never returned to order. Grinberg's most radical claim was simple: biology does not lead perception. Perception leads biology. Cells do not decide how old you are. Awareness does. When internal order is lost repeatedly, day after day, the body reflects that disorder faithfully. Aging, in this view, is not punishment, it is feedback. Before we dive into exercises or techniques, it's important to understand the foundation of Jacobo Grinberg's work. He was not interested in motivation, self-help, or effort-based routines. His focus was consciousness itself. He studied the nature of awareness, how it interacts with reality, and how the mind organizes the body. Grinberg proposed something that seems radical at first. Reality does not exist independently of perception. It emerges from a hidden informational field, a structure behind the apparent world, invisible yet active. The body, he discovered, is not just a machine following chemical instructions or genetics. It responds directly to the patterns of awareness projecting into this field. When awareness is coherent, precise, and unified, the body begins to reorganize itself naturally. Patterns that once seemed fixed, like age-related decline or stress-induced deterioration, begin to shift. To understand this, we must distinguish between chronological age and biological age. Chronological age is simple. It is the number of years, months, and days that have passed since birth. Calendars measure it, clocks mark it, and birthdays celebrate it. But biological age is different. Biological age is the state of internal order, the alignment of the nervous system, the efficiency of cellular repair, the coherence of perception. Two people can share the same chronological age, yet live in completely different biological timelines. One may feel energetic, resilient, and young. The other may experience fatigue, stiffness, and accelerated cellular decay. Grinberg emphasized that the difference is not luck, it is awareness. The way perception interacts with the informational field shapes the biology that emerges. Aging is not passive, it is active feedback from consciousness. This insight explains why most anti-aging methods fail. Science and society have built an enormous industry around supplements, diet, and exercise. Supplements target chemistry. They attempt to correct deficiencies or boost cellular function. Exercise targets muscles, bones, and cardiovascular health. Diet targets cells and metabolism. None of these approaches address the most critical factor: perceptual fragmentation. Without order and awareness, the body receives saccade signals. Hormones fluctuate unnecessarily. Stress responses activate without reason. Cells remain in repair-deficient states. Effort alone cannot restore internal coherence. And so the body continues to age despite pills, workouts, or superfoods. Grinberg showed that without a shift in perception, anti-aging interventions treat symptoms rather than the root cause. Central to this process is attention. Attention is not merely mental effort. It is not thinking harder or forcing focus. It is biological instruction. Wherever attention consistently goes, structure begins to form. Neurons reorganize. Neural pathways strengthen. The autonomic nervous system adjusts. Repeated attention to chaos creates decay. Repeated attention to order restores coherence. Scattered attention accelerates biological wear, while unified attention signals repair, stability, and regeneration. Grinberg argued that awareness functions as a conductor orchestrating the symphony of biology. The brain, the heart, The cells all follow the signal sent by focused, coherent attention. This principle also explains why the exercise Grinberg advocated takes only 12 minutes. The body does not need long rituals or extended sessions. The nervous system responds instantly to precision. Grinberg observed that perception shifts remarkably fast when attention is applied in the correct way. It is not time that matters. It is order. Just 12 minutes of structured awareness repeated consistently can create a cascade of biological reorganization. Every second of focused perception sends a clear signal to the body. Align, repair, restore. This is why long-term effort is unnecessary and often counterproductive. Effort without coherence produces more chaos. Awareness without fragmentation produces transformation. Grinberg also noticed that coherence is measurable. People with unified attention patterns, even in short exercises, demonstrated changes in heart rate variability, stress hormone levels, and cellular markers of regeneration. Chronological age remained unchanged, but biological age shifted in response to awareness alone. The body responded not to supplements, not to workouts, not to diets, but to perception. This insight reframes the entire conversation around aging. The process is not chemical, mechanical, or even nutritional at its core. It is informational. Awareness instructs the body in real time, and the signals of perception directly guide cellular behavior. Another important factor is the quality of attention. Many people practice scattered focus daily without realizing it. Attention flits between memories, fears, expectations, and distractions. Each fragment of attention carries a message to the body. When attention is fragmented, the body receives mixed signals, hormones misfire, neural networks weaken. The immune system operates at a lower efficiency. Repair mechanisms slow. This creates an environment in which aging accelerates. The solution is not multitasking, not willpower, not effort. It is singular, coherent attention directed with precision. When attention stabilizes, the body follows, reorganizing internal processes toward restoration rather than decay. This leads to a fascinating paradox that Grinberg often discussed. The shorter the exercise, the more effective it can be, as long as perception is focused. Time alone does not create biological change. 12 minutes of fragmented effort produces nothing. 12 minutes of precise, coherent attention produces measurable results. Grinberg compared this to tuning an instrument. One does not need hours to bring a guitar into tune. One must apply precision, listen, adjust, and harmonize. Similarly, awareness applied in order produces a rapid reordering of the nervous system and cellular processes. Grinberg also connected this process to the broader concept of life energy. While he avoided mystical language, he recognized that when awareness aligns with the informational field, the body naturally optimizes. Energy that was scattered by stress, noise, and mental fragmentation becomes available for repair. Neural pathways strengthen, hormonal regulation stabilizes, cellular regeneration accelerates. The body does not merely slow aging, it actively reorganizes toward youthfulness, resilience, and coherence. This is why traditional methods, which focus only on the body without aligning awareness, show limited results. Biology follows perception, not the other way around. He emphasized that perception is not passive. It is dynamic and interactive. Consciousness does not simply observe the world, it participates in its creation. Every thought, every focused observation, every moment of unified attention sends a signal into the informational field. The body receives this signal and responds in kind. Grinberg described this as a feedback loop. Coherent awareness produces biological coherence, which in turn reinforces stable perception. Disordered awareness produces accelerated decay, which in turn fragments perception further. The 12-minute exercise interrupts this negative loop and creates a positive loop of restoration. Grinberg also noted that people often confuse effort with results. Most anti-aging advice tells us to work harder, push the body, take more supplements, exercise longer. But in his research, effort without focus is meaningless. Scattered effort produces scattered results. Conversely, short periods of coherent perception produce effects that long hours of physical effort cannot replicate. The body responds not to intensity, but to clarity of signal. Attention functions as the language through which the mind communicates instructions to the nervous system and cells. Another insight from Grinberg's work is the universality of this principle. Biological age is not fixed by genetics, lifestyle, or environment alone. Any person, regardless of history, can shift their biological age through coherent perception. Chronological markers may remain the same, but the state of internal order changes. This is why some people remain energetic and resilient well into old age, while others age rapidly despite following conventional health advice. The difference is internal coherence, how the mind interacts with the body through awareness. Grinberg also stressed that the informational field behind reality is responsive but neutral. It does not reward effort or punish neglect. It simply mirrors the order or disorder projected into it. Attention scattered across fears, distractions, and compulsions produces disorder in biology. Focused, coherent attention produces alignment. The body responds to the informational patterns sent by awareness. This explains why the 12-minute exercise works. It is designed to create a precise, repeatable pattern of attention that the body can follow to reorganize itself, reduce stress, and restore internal balance. Finally, the 12-minute exercise leverages the natural intelligence of the body. The body already knows how to repair itself. It already contains the instructions for regeneration, resilience, and youthful function. The exercise does not teach new skills, it removes interference. By stabilizing awareness and focusing attention in a coherent way, the exercise clears the noise, allowing the body to return to its intrinsic state of order. Grinberg described it as a shortcut to biological realignment, short in duration, precise in impact, and powerful in effect. The body listens and biology follows, immediately and predictably. Before we explain the exercise itself, it's important to understand what it is not. This is not a physical routine. There is no stretching, no lifting, no specific sequence of movement. It is not about breathing techniques designed for relaxation. There is no focus on increasing oxygen, lowering heart rate, or calming the mind in the traditional sense. Those methods may offer temporary relief, but they do not alter the deeper processes that govern biological aging. Jacobo Grinberg emphasized that the core of the exercise is perceptual alignment. It is a precise calibration of awareness. When the observer, the conscious self, becomes stable and coherent, the observed, the body, follows naturally. The body does not resist. It mirrors the order projected by perception. Every cell, every neuron, every organ receives the signal of alignment, responding instantly to the coherence of the mind. This alignment works at a level most people cannot see or feel initially. Inside the body, subtle but profound changes begin almost immediately. Stress hormones, which had been elevated by scattered attention and low-level tension, begin to normalize. The nervous system exits survival mode, cortisol levels stabilize. The fight-or-flight response becomes less dominant. Energy that was previously diverted to unnecessary alertness is redirected toward repair and regeneration. Grinberg observed that these processes are not gradual or conditional. They respond directly to the shift in perception. The body does not wait for weeks or months of practice to notice a difference. When awareness stabilizes, biology reorganizes naturally. Signals for cellular repair and renewal increase. Tissue regeneration accelerates. Immune responses strengthen. The body stops preparing for threat and begins prioritizing repair. This is a reordering at the fundamental level, guided not by effort or willpower, but by the coherence of attention. The reason this knowledge was never popularized is revealing. Practices that produce immediate, effortless change do not generate dependency. They remove the need for external tools, products, or programs. Systems built on consumption, effort, and continual chasing do not benefit from such knowledge. Supplements, gym routines, and anti-aging products rely on continued participation. They create a cycle of striving, struggle, and expenditure. Grinberg's exercise breaks this cycle. It places the power entirely in the hands of awareness. Those who understand it can bypass external systems, aligning perception and biology without reliance on products, techniques, or promises. For this reason, it was quietly suppressed and rarely taught openly. It challenges the very structures that profit from effort over order, distraction over coherence, and struggle over ease. However, the exercise is not for everyone. It works only for those willing to stop forcing change. Those addicted to constant effort, to pushing, to controlling outcomes, often find it frustrating. Discipline alone cannot replace stillness. Effort alone cannot create coherence. The exercise requires observation, not control. It asks practitioners to pause, center, and allow perception to become stable. The mind must watch without interference. The body follows the order projected by that quiet, deliberate attention. For people willing to surrender, struggle, and allow awareness to lead, the results are profound. For those unwilling, the practice remains ineffective because the signal is either scattered or blocked. Consistency, however, transforms the perception of time itself. As attention stabilizes, the mind no longer races ahead or lingers in the past. Time slows and stretches, not because of clocks or schedules, but because the nervous system exits urgency. The body no longer reacts to imagined threats or perceived shortages of energy. Internal rhythms return to their natural pace. Biological wear slows. Cellular repair and regeneration dominate over decay. Interestingly, youth is not added. Cells do not suddenly reverse their history. Instead, the natural process of aging, the gradual accumulation of disorder, is removed. The body aligns with coherence. Aging is no longer driven by fragmentation and scattered attention. It is neutralized. The practitioner experiences less tension, greater energy, and a sense of timeless presence as the nervous system itself mirrors the stability of perception. The 12-minute practice, when applied consistently, creates a feedback loop that reinforces these changes. Every repetition strengthens the link between coherent attention and biological response. Scattered thoughts begin to diminish automatically. Hormonal fluctuations stabilize. Regeneration signals become the dominant rhythm. The nervous system learns that survival mode is unnecessary. Stress responses are triggered only when truly needed. This is not theory. Grinberg observed measurable physiological changes in those practicing perceptual alignment. Heart rate variability improved. Immune function became more efficient. Cellular markers of repair increased. Yet these results required no effort, no belief, and no long rituals. Only attention applied with precision. Over time, the effects compound. The body, freed from constant reactive stress, begins to operate according to internal intelligence. The mind and body synchronize. Attention directed with coherence guides the body toward natural equilibrium. This creates a state where aging is effectively paused. Not by external interference, not by chemical manipulation, not by physical effort, but by the repeated, disciplined practice of perceptual alignment. The practitioner experiences clarity, energy, and resilience that defy chronological age. What was once a simple 12-minute exercise becomes a powerful tool for biological realignment, available to anyone willing to focus, observe, and allow awareness to lead the process. Grinberg's principle also illuminates why modern approaches to anti-aging are limited. Most methods focus on changing the body directly: diet, exercise, supplementation. They operate on the assumption that biology must be pushed, modified, or supplemented externally. Yet, the body is a mirror of perception, without coherence in awareness. No external method produces lasting or profound results. The 12-minute exercise bypasses this limitation entirely. It restores the internal signal that guides the body naturally. Repair, regeneration, and alignment are no longer optional. They become the default response to coherent attention. The practice also shifts the practitioner's experience of life itself. As the mind stabilizes, perception sharpens, awareness becomes richer, subtler, and more present. Sensory experience intensifies. Thoughts become clearer, less fragmented. The body responds with vitality, but the mind responds with lucidity. This is the subtle, often overlooked impact of Grinberg's work. By aligning perception with the informational field behind reality, the exercise produces simultaneous transformation of mind, body, and experience. Time feels longer, moments feel deeper, and energy that was once scattered is now available for repair and presence. Each repetition of the exercise reinforces the link between attention and biology. The signal of coherence grows stronger, penetrating deeper into the nervous system. Cellular processes become more efficient. Metabolic and regenerative cycles stabilize, hormones regulate automatically. The practitioner experiences less fatigue, fewer symptoms of aging, and a renewed sense of balance. This is not a process of adding youth or stopping time. It is a return to the natural rhythm that was always present, but obscured by fragmented perception. Awareness acts as the conductor of this internal orchestra, guiding every system toward optimal function. Even subtle shifts in attention produce noticeable changes. A single day of scattered perception may trigger stress responses, but consistent practice counteracts these effects. The 12-minute alignment exercise is therefore both powerful and accessible. It does not require special equipment, extreme discipline, or years of preparation. It relies entirely on precision, consistency, and observation. The practitioner must simply focus, remain still, and allow awareness to project order into the body. The body in turn follows naturally. Stress hormones reduce, nervous system function stabilizes, and repair becomes prioritized. As perception stabilizes over time, biological aging is not reversed by external effort. It is neutralized by internal coherence. This process explains why some individuals appear decades younger than their chronological age. Their attention has been aligned, even subconsciously, over long periods. Their bodies reflect order rather than accumulated stress. Grinberg's forbidden exercise makes this accessible to anyone willing to engage with perception directly. It offers a method to reclaim control over biological processes, bypassing the limitations imposed by fragmented attention, stress, and external interventions. This alignment is subtle but undeniable. The nervous system gradually exits chronic alertness. Energy no longer leaks into unnecessary tension. Hormones stabilize, immune function improves. Cellular repair dominates. The practitioner experiences vitality, clarity, and resilience that transcend chronological age. Grinberg emphasized that this is the essence of the forbidden practice. It is not about doing more, striving harder, or seeking external solutions. It is about allowing awareness to restore order, enabling the body to return to its natural state of equilibrium and coherence. Aging is not something we fight, chase, or try to control. Jacobo Grinberg showed us that it is not a battle of time, chemicals, or effort. Aging does not need to be defeated. It dissolves when perception becomes ordered. The body is not separate from awareness. It listens first to the coherence of your mind. When attention is unified, when perception stabilizes, the nervous system reorganizes, repair takes priority, and the subtle signs of aging begin to fade. This is not magic, and it is not a matter of belief. It is a process of observation. Calm, deliberate, and precise. Approach the 12-minute exercise with stillness. Watch, observe. Allow awareness to guide the body without force, without expectation, without judgment. If you practice in this way, the results unfold naturally. the body follows the signal of coherent attention. Every day becomes a chance to restore internal order, to harmonize perception with biology, and to experience the subtle transformation that Grinberg discovered. This is the true path to reversing the effects of fragmented attention and internal disorder. It is simple but profound. If you found this insight valuable, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Stay connected with Awakened Synchronicity for more teachings from Jacobo Grinberg and for practices that help you align awareness, restore coherence, and unlock the hidden potential of your mind and body.